Hi friends, welcome to another PYQ mastery session where I am going to analyze few PYQs and using that I am going to predict an important question in the UPSC Prelims examination 2025, and through that I am going to gift you today 2 marks in the prelims examination because this question has a very high probability to come in the exam. Why? Because this is based on the recent PYQ theme. Guys, in the recent times you must have seen that UPSC has invented a new pattern of question in environment, and that pattern of question is basically term based question. They are giving one term from environment and they are asking what is the meaning of that term. You can see this question came in 2021 prelims examination, R2 code of practice. What is R2 code of practice? It was asked in the prelims examination 2021. Again, you can see in 2023 they have asked another question: which of the following describes greenwashing? Which of the following describes greenwashing? This is very popular theme these days. Every year one question you are getting from term based environment question. They'll give you a term and they will ask you what is the explanation of that term. Even in science and tech this is very popular. Science and tech this is very popular. And guys, many candidates they get confused. Why? Because this is little tougher, because if you don't know it then it is very difficult to solve. So what are the various important terms which are important for the prelims examination 2025? So today in this video I am going to share with you a very important term from environment which can be used to frame question in the prelims examination, and that term is related to sovereign green bond. That term is related to sovereign green bond. What is that term? That term is, you can see here, that term is basically called greenium. That term is called what? Greenium. So what is greenium, guys? Let me first take you to the definition of greenium. Okay, greenium, green plus premium. Green plus premium is called greenium. So what is greenium? Greenium is basically the difference. It is the difference between the yield of a normal bond and a sovereign green bond. Okay, it is a difference between normal bond, the yield of a normal bond and a green bond. So for that we have to understand what are green bonds. So guys, you know that in the last 2 years government of India is promoting green bonds, sovereign green bonds. So what are sovereign green bonds? Sovereign green bonds are bonds issued by government of India, and the money collected through this sovereign green bonds will be used for sustainable projects. As per the sovereign green bond framework of India, the money which will be collected by this sovereign green bond will be used for sustainable project like renewable energy, energy efficiency, clean transport, climate change mitigation and adaptation, sustainable water, waste management, pollution prevention, green buildings, etc., etc. Okay, so they can ask you what are these sovereign green bonds. Sovereign green bonds, the word sovereign means what? Backed by government. Sovereign green bonds are bonds issued by government of India to mobilize finance which will be used for sustainable development. But here there is a catch. What is the catch? The catch is that the yield which is offered by the sovereign green bond are little less than the normal bond. Why they are less? Because guys, obviously these projects are sustainable projects. So obviously they will carry a premium. Because the risk is less. If you are funding a project which is sustainable, this means that project will carry less risk, and since it is carrying less risk, so the yield which the investor which will get, suppose I buy a bond, the yield what I will be offered by the government will be little less than the normal bond, and that difference is called greenium. You can see here. Okay, you can see here, issuers typically offer green bonds at a lower yield than conventional bond, assuring investors that the proceeds will be used exclusively for green investments, and this is called green premium or greenium. So what is greenium? Greenium, which is green plus premium, is the difference in the yield between a normal bond and a green bond. Okay, so normal bond, the premium is little, okay, the yield is little higher, and the green bonds, the yield is little lower. Then why will investor buy a sovereign green bond? Why? Because there is a catch that these projects will be more sustainable. So although they are giving me less interest, they are giving me less in yield, but I'm sure that they are more sustainable than the other projects which are funded by normal bond. That is the difference. Okay, you can see here the difference between the normal bond and the green bond. Okay, you can see here the difference in yield between thematic bonds and ordinary bonds of a similar maturity is based on the logic that investors are willing to pay an extra for a bond which is having sustainable impact. Means investors are willing to pay something more. Investors are willing to pay something more for those projects where the money will be used for sustainable development. That is what is called greenium. So like you see, they will just frame this question. They will just frame this question: which of the following best describes greenium? Okay, and they will give you 4 statements. Okay, they'll give you 4 statements. Okay, so what will be greenium? Greenium is the difference between the yield of a normal bond and a green bond, where the investors are willing to get little less yield because the money will be used for sustainable development projects. Okay, so this is called greenium, guys. Like this, guys, we have to analyze the PYQs. We have to analyze the PYQs, guys. I have analyzed last 25 years PYQ in thematic manner. This is a theme, term based. Like this, I have analyzed a lot of PYQs in the last 25 years. There are more than 80 lectures. These lectures will be very useful, guys. You can see 25 years PYQ analysis. Guys, this is going to be very useful. For the first time, such kind of PYQ mastery sessions have been launched in the country. Make use of this. Also, guys, I have some predicted questions for the prelims examination. Every year, you know, I predict questions in the prelims examination. 20 to 30 questions are approximately. Okay, you will get near about what is going to come in exam, because I'm telling from my experience. Every year, every day I'm giving important topics. Most of the questions will come around those important topics. How am I doing it? Because I have analyzed last 25 years of PYQs, and also, guys, I have basically analyzed the current affairs of last 2 years. Using that, I have predicted some of the important topics, and I'm framing questions on those important topics. And guys, one more thing is that in this PYQ sessions, I'm also going to teach you what? I'm going to teach you the elimination method. I'm going to teach you elimination method. So guys, this is very useful for the prelims aspirant, guys. Please make use of it.